Hello everyone, subscribe to my channel to not miss new trending manhwa.
The tale commences with an intriguing question about the legendary princess of Black Flame. Whispers suggest that beyond a mysterious gate lies an endless darkness, from which a humanoid monster is said to emerge. A shadowed woman in a dark, ruffled dress holding a parasol makes her enigmatic appearance. Out of the nocturnal gloom, a pack of shadowy, cat-like beasts with glowing red eyes materializes before her. One of these formidable creatures snarls fiercely, yet she takes a deliberate, elegant step forward. The menacing animals quickly surround her, one lunging in attack. But she remains perfectly composed. She calmly holds her parasol as the snarling beasts close in, ready to strike. With surprising power, she leaps into the air, bringing her heel down forcefully onto a creature's head, a subtle smirk on her face. Her devastating kick sends the large beast flying backward with considerable impact. A close-up reveals her slender leg, still poised after delivering the powerful blow. Her face is shown in a close-up, bathed in an ethereal purple light, hinting at the power she's about to unleash. The parasol in her grasp begins to radiate with intense violet energy. As a foreboding message starts to appear, you'll never forget her once. Suspended upside down in a dynamic pose, she channels this energy through her parasol towards the ground. The text completing its ominous warning, you see her. A brilliant flash erupts as her eyes gleam with a golden hue, focusing her power for a devastating attack. Her parasol, now a conduit of immense force, slams into the earth, sending out a colossal shockwave of purple energy that obliterates the remaining beast. Standing triumphantly amidst the fallen creatures, her transformed parasol planted firmly. Another piece of advice materializes if you ever come across her. With her dark hair flowing, she gazes resolutely forward. The warning continuing, run away as fast as you can, now fully revealed. Surrounded by ominous black flames at her feet. The chilling condition is given if you can escape her black flames, that is. The narrative then shifts to a desolate, ruined cityscape where a young girl desperately runs, calling out, "Mom, please." As text indicates, it was late summer after a relentless rainy season. Panting in terror, the girl's plea echoes through the ruins, her face etched with fear as she cries out, "Please." She desperately reaches a payphone, inserting a coin and calling out, "Hello, Mom, it is me." An acceptance letter to Greenwich College appears as she explains, "I don't have many 101 coins, so I'll talk fast." Huff. "So, listen." Overjoyed, she exclaims into the receiver, "I got accepted into Korea Uni." Her eye widens in horror as a blood-curdling scream erupts from the phone, before it clatters to the ground. Amidst the devastation, her frantic thoughts echo, "Mom, you're okay, right? Please, tell me nothing happened." Clutching the letter, she stands in the ruins, her face a mask of despair as she cries out, "Mom." Collapsing to her knees, she discovers a crushed payphone booth with a lifeless hand underneath. Whispering in disbelief, "And Mom." The narrative shifts, stating, in the year 1997, the world changed. As a wounded man frantically tells an officer about a bus-sized bug that bit off his arm. A news reporter describes the cataclysm's origin. It all started with a red lightning bolt that fell from the sky one day, as crimson lightning strikes a building. Two children gaze upwards in bewildered fear, the explanation continuing all around the world. Mysterious anomalies called gates began to appear, and through these gates, terrifying monsters poured out. The government deployed the military, but it wasn't enough to stop them, plunging the world into chaos. Yet, to the young girl, none of that global catastrophe truly mattered, as relatives argued, unwilling to take her in after her mother's death, displaying rows of funeral portraits. While shadowy figures debated her fate, she sat alone, realizing that in this place, or rather, anywhere in this world, there was simply no place for her. A stark understanding reflected in her somber eyes. Eventually, she found herself in a makeshift tent, being told by a relative, "Yuna, you're almost an adult now. You understand, right?" To which she quietly affirmed, "I'll be fine." Her reality became a meager meal tray holding a small portion of rice and a few side dishes. She ate her sparse food alone, huddled in a cramped, dimly lit space. A stark contrast to any semblance of a home. Suddenly, a comforting hand seemed to reach out, a gentle voice asking, "Yuna, my sweet daughter, what's wrong? Did you have a bad dream?" "It's okay, it was just a dream." She then imagined herself being held by her mother, who reassured her, "It's okay." While Yuna thought, "Yeah, this is just a dream, just a really bad dream." The illusion shattered as a spoon clattered into a bowl of simple soup, her hopeful whisper, "Mom, right? Mom?" echoing in the lonely silence. Tears streamed down her face as she choked out, "And Mom." Sobbing uncontrollably, she repeatedly called for her mother, while a luminous butterfly hovered near her makeshift shelter. The radiant insect alighted on her wrist, which began to pulse with an ethereal blue energy as she sat hunched over her meager meal. Suddenly, system notifications materialized, announcing a new channel connection, the identification of Cha Yuna, and the granting of a unique ability as her tent was enveloped in an intense azure glow. Her awakening completed, the system declared the activation of her unique ability, Flame, as fiery orange power erupted around her. A soldier, alerted by the commotion, turned his gaze towards Tent 2, now emanating a brilliant orange luminescence. He reported into his radio about a newly awakened individual in Disaster Zone 161, requesting immediate backup, which was promptly confirmed for deployment. The timeline advanced to the summer of 1998, under a clear, sunlit sky. Yuna was then seen being transported in the back of a military vehicle moving along a paved road. A young man with blonde hair gazed thoughtfully towards the heavens, a bead of perspiration on his brow. The blonde young man turns to Yuna asking, "Yuna, have you ever been to Jeonju before?" Yuna, with a slight, almost imperceptible smile, simply responds no. Another soldier with purple hair burst out laughing, teasing Aijin. "Wait, was that your idea of flirting, Aijin? So innocent, so refreshing," making Aijin blush and stammer. Aijin, flustered, tries to reassure Yuna. Yuna, you don't mind what he said? If me talking to you makes you uncomfortable, then I will just. The scene shows Aijin and Yuna in profile, with a caption stating, "I first met Yuna not long after I awakened." A voice booms gather up, as the view focuses on the top of a military tent under a bright sky. An officer stands beside Yuna, addressing a group. "This is a newly enlisted awaken. You'll be operating as one unit from now on, so support each other well." Yuna formally introduces herself to the unseen group. "My name is Cha Yuna. I look forward to working with you." One soldier with purple hair exclaims with delight, "Oh wow, we finally have a girl in our squad. I was seriously suffocating from all the sweaty guys." While another with glasses objects to his inappropriate statement. The purple-haired soldier dismisses the bespectacled one's sensitivity, attributing it to failing college entrance exams, which the latter vehemently denies. As Aijin nervously attempts to introduce himself as also newly enlisted, Aijin internally lamented his difficult adjustment after awakening, feeling his combat ability was useless, and then mentally asked for a name. He appeared visibly flustered while Yuna calmly met his gaze. Aijin's narration revealed that Yuna was the first to truly support him. As he struggled to integrate with the squad, he acknowledged his poor memory for names and singular focus on training. He had cherished Yuna as a precious friend, despite her occasional name mix-ups. The purple-haired soldier then queried Yuna, "By the way, Yuna, have you made a contract with the Divine Beast?" Yuna simply responded no, as they passed a sign for Jeonju, prompting the soldier to express surprise at her strength without one. Her squad mate further commented that a dragon would suit her, calling her the unit's strongest, to which Yuna remained impassive. Yuna then shifted her attention to Aijin, asking, "You said you came from America, right?" causing him to look surprised. A blushing Aijin confirmed his mixed heritage, internally flustered by Yuna's direct stare and wondering about its effect on him. Yuna casually observed, "Come to think of it, your hair's blonde, isn't it?" leaving Aijin aghast that she'd only just noticed after all their time training together. Aijin then inquired, "So, do you know Queenlish University by any chance?" Yuna, looking out from the military vehicle, responded, No. Where is that?" She then mentioned San Francisco, adding, "I used to dream of becoming a pet groomer." A visibly pleased Aijin exclaimed, "Really? That totally suits you. But why?" Yuna's demeanor changed slightly as she uttered a simple, "Oh." Realizing his insensitivity, Aijin quickly offered, "Sorry," as the view shifted to a somber sky. Yuna, seated beside him later, remarked, "We're all in the same situation here. I wasn't thinking." Tucking a strand of hair, she clarified, "Looking at you just reminded me of the past." "Don't worry about it." She then initiated a new thought with a soft hey. Aijin, with a hopeful blush, shared, "My family, we have a dog, a Bick and Freeze. He is super gentle," before shyly proposing, "So, if it is okay with you, maybe next time, could I ask you to groom him?" As rain began to fall, their vehicle passed a large sign welcoming them to Jeonju. Internally, Aijin fretted over his forwardness, but Yuna pleasantly surprised him by saying, "Sure, I'd love to." He reacted with disbelief, stammering if his request to groom her dog was too much to ask of someone he just met. His eyes widened in sheer, blushing amazement at her unexpected agreement. Yuna offered a gentle, knowing smile, resting her chin on her fist. Overjoyed, Aijin thanked her, revealing his dog's name is William, while their purple-haired squad mate teased him about young love. only to be told to focus as they approached the gate. Suddenly, in a dark, abstract space, Aijin's name, Baek Aijin, seemed to echo. He flinched, startled out of his reverie as if abruptly awakened. Yuna, her expression serious, questioned his focus, asking if he was ready since they were about to enter the gate, to which he apologized for spacing out and promised to finish preparing. Her gaze remained fixed and resolute, conveying a quiet intensity. Aijin reflects that it's already been 3 years since that promise, as he and his squad, including Yuna, prepare to move out, with someone asking if everyone has their ID tags. He recalls that those 3 years were harsh and exhausting, but they ultimately made the squad stronger, as they stand together. And Yuna, he thinks, looking at her profile as she stands with the squad. The purple-haired squad mate asks Aijin if his extensive gear isn't overkill for a C-rank gate, to which Aijin replies it's good to be prepared, listing rations, bandages, emergency meds, and an extra sleeping bag. The purple-haired soldier lets out a hearty laugh at Aijin's thoroughness. Yuna, with a slight smile, comments, "That's so like you. I like it," causing Aijin to blush and think that Yuna smiles much more often now. Their squad leader announces they are entering the gate in 5 minutes, reminding them that even though it's low tier, they must stay alert. The squad members respond with a resounding yes, squad leader. While one thinks about his daughter's graduation and another about acing the TOEIC, Aijin looks at Yuna, then seems to have a sudden realization or thought. He calls out, "Hey, Yuna. Squad leader." As she turns to look at him with a serious expression, Yuna inquires, "What is it?" As Aijin trails off with a hesitant, "Well," amidst a backdrop of sunlit trees. Flustered and blushing, Aijin asks Yuna, "Do you still remember that promise?" Yuna, looking slightly confused, asks, "What promise?" While Aijin stammers, "Why you promised." To groom William, appearing quite startled. Aijin explains his dad is bringing William to Korea after the mission, and nervously invites Yuna to his house, to which she, with a subtle glow, simply replies, "Sure," as Aijin internally panics that she's forgotten and he's made her uncomfortable. Yuna then asks, "He doesn't bite, right?" Before clarifying, "William, he's really gentle," as Aijin's eye widens in close-up. Smiling broadly with a vibrant blue aura surrounding her, Yuna states, "Good. I'm looking forward to it." A system notification declares loading. The gate is activating with a bright, swirling portal materializing and a countdown indicating 30 seconds remaining until the gate opens. An announcement confirms gate activation in 30 seconds. All units, get ready, while Aijin, completely red-faced and flustered, utters a small in response to Yuna's acceptance. A close-up shows Aijin's eye as a voice asks, "What are you doing, Baek Aijin?" While below, the squad, including Yuna, is seen moving towards the gate. Yuna, looking back with her hand extended, urges Aijin, "Hurry up." As she and the other squad members advance, Aijin, beaming with a wide smile, enthusiastically replies, "Yeah." The narration reveals their mission was a C-rank gate, one of the lowest tiers, with 11 elite hunters deployed, all expecting an easy clear, but then ominously adds, "That's what we believed," as a bloodied hand rests on some documents. A close-up shows Aijin's face contorted in shock and disbelief as he stammers, "WHY?" The scene reveals the squad surrounded by a multitude of menacing, shadowy beasts with glowing red eyes in a barren landscape, with text exclaiming, "Why is this happening? How did it come to this?" One of the squad members, with dark, tied-back hair, yells, "Everyone stay calm. These things don't attack unless we provoke," just as a creature lets out a ferocious growl. A monstrous creature lunges forward, causing a green-haired squad mate to cower in terror, while Aijin and Yuna stand behind him, witnessing the sudden attack. A pair of blood-spattered glasses tumbles to the ground, the sound of them hitting the dirt echoing as someone utters a faint, "GYU." The terrified green-haired soldier sits amidst the chaos, tears streaming down his face as he cries out, "Kyuchinhyang." The broken glasses lying before him. A determined hand clenches tightly into a fist, accompanied by the resolute thought, "I'll kill them all." Yuna urgently shouts, "Jessing, don't provoke them," towards the distraught green-haired squad member, Jessing, who looks up with a face full of fear and tears. Jessing, consumed by rage, screams, "Die, you bastards," as a monstrous red eye glares menacingly. A dark, bloody scene unfolds with ominous sounds, hinting at a brutal attack. Aijin stands frozen in terror, surrounded by the growls of unseen beasts and the sound of something cracking nearby. His thoughts race, realizing 9 members were instantly killed, questioning the gate's rank, and desperately trying to figure out a way for him and Yuna to survive against dozens of high-level monsters. Yuna's voice cuts through his panic, sharply telling him, "Baek Aijin, snap out of it." Aijin apologizes, explaining he was trying to devise a plan as Yuna tells him to look over there. He turns his gaze, his eyes widening in shock and disbelief at what he sees. A glowing blue portal, the gate, has unexpectedly appeared, offering them a slim chance of escape. Three of the shadowy, red-eyed beasts snarl, their attention now drawn towards the newly manifested gate. Yuna reminds Aijin that the creatures don't attack unless provoked, and suggests they might reach the gate if they move slowly, to which a startled Aijin agrees. Yuna, however, voices her suspicion, stating, "But something feels off." As they cautiously advance, Aijin internally questions why the gate suddenly open, and if there's an unknown condition. The gate's glow intensifies and then dims as Yuna remarks, "That's strange. It's not reacting." Wondering if perhaps it's a trap, she further elaborates that it was definitely active moments ago but stopped when they got close. Questioning the reason, Aijin then hesitantly begins, "Yuna, just hypothetically." He poses the dreadful question, what if only one person can go through the gate? As they stand before the now dim portal, Yuna, looking towards him with the gate's light faintly illuminating her, asks, "What are you talking about?" Aijin, taking a step away from the gate, expresses his hope that his theory isn't correct. As Yuna steps forward alone, the gate suddenly flares to life, a system message announcing, "The gate has been activated." Aijin, with a pained expression, explains he didn't want it to be true. But the gate doesn't open when they both approach, leading Yuna to conclude, "I see. So someone has to stay behind to keep it active." Tears stream down Aijin's face, his eyes wide with disbelief and sorrow at the realization. Yuna calmly instructed him, "Leave your backpack before you go. It'll help me last a little longer." Aijin desperately pleaded, "Yuna, don't joke around, you have to go back." While she countered, "I'll groom William another time," and he yelled that she should escape, as he has nowhere to go even if he makes it out. She firmly told him, "Listen to me, Beck Aijin. You have family, but I don't," urging him to be rational and questioning if he's truly scared of losing a friend. Yuna then pointedly asked, "Or are you afraid you'll live with guilt for the rest of your life?" As Aijin looked on in anguish, he cried out, "Stop it. No matter what you say, I can't leave you behind and walk out alone. I'd rather stay too." With a sudden, forceful shove, Yuna sent Aijin hurtling backward towards the gate. As Aijin flew through the air, Yuna unleashed her fiery power, engulfing the area in flames. While system messages announce gate activation in progress, and the gate will close shortly. Reflected in Aijin's eye, Yuna, surrounded by her power, warned him it might feel a bit hot. Aijin screamed, "Please stop, EUNHA." As system notifications counted down 5 seconds until gate closure, and confirmed gate closure in progress, his desperate cries of EUNHA, Cha EUNHA, echoing. Aijin desperately reaches out, his anguished cry CHA EUNHA, filling the air as she stands resolute before the vanishing portal. A serene, almost melancholic smile graces Yuna's lips as she is enveloped by the gate's fading light. The system announces gate closure complete, the portal disappearing with a final shimmer. Thrown clear, Aijin lies defeated on the rain-soaked ground, the mission's tragic and washing over him. Tears stream down Aijin's face as he brokenly whispers, "Cha EUNHA." An explanation details the gate phenomenon, a mysterious event in 1997 that unleashed monsters from dungeons upon the world. With the appearance of gates, individuals with special powers, known as Awaken, also emerged. Since conventional weaponry failed against the creatures, discovering that the Awaken could combat these threats, people began calling them hunters, who are shown battling formidable beasts. Consequently, the government started to gather and manage these hunters nationally, attempting to address the unprecedented crisis. Typically, after a certain number of monsters are vanquished, a boss monster appears, and securing its core allows the gate to close, which was the standard clearing procedure. However, the expected outcome was not what transpired, as a defeated beast lay amidst the carnage. Instead, a fiery explosion rocked the already devastated landscape. System notifications then flashed, declaring all monsters cleared and that the boss monster would now appear. As Yuna stood amidst the aftermath. Yet, as Yuna surveyed the fiery scene, a new system warning materialized, indicating an unknown error had occurred. She walked through the field of fallen creatures while a system message declared it was resetting the gate. Further system alerts confirmed the gate was summoning monsters again, warning of an attacking Lv.99 red-eyed black tiger, prompting Yuna to think, "Here we go again." Realizing that despite countless resets and slain monsters, the boss never appeared. Making one thing certain, her thought concluded with the grim realization, trapped in here. In the dim, cave-like interior of the gate, Yuna retrieved a ration pack from Aijin's abandoned bag. She then picked up a practical TOEIC reading book, noticing a small, encouraging note written on it. Yuna mused to herself, "Seriously, bringing something like this to a mission site, recalling her squad mates' earlier optimism about starting a new life, and thought if she knew he'd pack such things, she would have commented. She remembered Minseok, who always showed off his girlfriend's photo, and kind-hearted Hyeju, who always brought sunscreen for everyone during training. Then there was Mihyun, proudly displaying the lucky charm her dad gave her, as Yuna reflected that she still couldn't get used to collecting what's left of her fallen comrades. A considerable amount of time had elapsed since she got trapped inside this gate. Her expression somber. It had been so long she didn't even recall the last time she marked the date, deciding to take good care of the keepsake since she didn't know when the gate would open. Ages ago, she ran out of food, the only silver lining being that she could still eat monster meat, which she gagged on at first but eventually got used to. Besides the TOEIC book, the only other usable items were a pack of hardtack and a roll of bandages. Lucky to have even found those. Having gathered all that was worth taking, she thought it was time to wrap things up. Brushing her hair back, while zipping up Ijin's bag, she discovered a red first aid kit tucked inside. Her eyes widened slightly as she recognized the name Beck Ijun on a label affixed to the kit. She recalled always nagging him for over-preparing, but acknowledged that thanks to him, she'd survived this long, silently hoping Beck Ijin was doing well. As Yuna sat amidst the desolation, system notifications flashed, announcing gate reset complete and that of 5530 red-eyed black tiger smells blood. Another alert confirmed, 5530 red-eyed black tiger is tracking you, prompting an annoyed Yuna to mutter that she couldn't even take a moment to look back. The system then declared, 5530 red-eyed black tiger has spotted you as to ferocious. Red-eyed black tigers materialized before her. Getting to her feet, she confidently called out, "Hey," to the snarling beast. Her body erupted in flames as she challenged them. "Let's save some time. Come at me all at once." The pair of monstrous tigers charged directly at her through the intense, fiery energy. A rapid succession of powerful, fiery blows landed squarely on the attacking creatures. Following the intense clash, the area was filled with smoke and lingering embers from her attack. To vanquished, bloody tigers lay on the ground as she calmly counted 1, 2. Yuna gazed forward with a somber, contemplative expression, her thoughts unspoken. She wondered if one of the 3 tigers had run away, considering it a hassle. These days, monsters of this level felt easy to take down, she mused, deciding to butcher it before it spoiled and noting she'd leveled up a bit. It was a day like any other, with freshly butchered monster meat laid out. A usual reset, a usual battle, and a usual harvesting marked her routine, or so she thought. Suddenly, multiple system warnings flashed, announcing a massive disturbance and the appearance of a Lv.98 mutant red-eye black tiger. Today, however, a new system alert pinged, warning. Lv.68 mutant red-eyed black tiger has spotted you. Things began to unfold differently than usual as she processed the warning. A mutant, and more importantly, level 68, meant something significant as she was thrown back by an unseen force. A colossal, terrifying mutant tiger with multiple glowing red eyes and bared fangs loomed before her. An elite monster, she realized with a clenched fist. At minimum, it was a sub-boss level monster. The mutant tiger's menacing red eye filled her vision as she recognized this creature was on a completely different level, possibly her best chance to finally escape. With a grimace, Yuna acknowledged she had just fought, leaving her mana nearly depleted. She then wondered if, given its level 68 status, she could even take it down. As the colossal beast lunged, she steeled her resolve, knowing she had no choice but to try. The mutant tiger swiped ferociously, forcing Yuna to narrowly evade its powerful blow with a sharp intake of breath. Its massive paw subsequently slammed into the earth, shattering the rocky ground with immense force. Blown back by the shockwave, Yuna marveled at its power, realizing a direct hit from such a casual swing would undoubtedly kill her. She considered that analyzing its attack pattern would be safer, but with her mana already depleted, a prolonged fight was out of the question. Therefore, Yuna decided she had to end this confrontation as fast as possible. Gathering her remaining energy, facing the charging beast, she began to conjure a concentrated orb of fire, preparing for a decisive strike. The mutant tiger charged headfirst into the concentrated sphere of fire Yuna had unleashed. Straining against the beast's power, she cried out internally, "Damn, my mana's draining fast." Within the inferno, the tiger's enraged, fiery visage appeared, as she realized, if I keep pushing this level of firepower, I'll collapse before it does. Her eye widened in a dawning horror, her thought trailing off. This thing's totally. A massive explosion erupted where her attack met the beast, shattering the ground. Yuna coughed weakly, blood staining her face from the exertion and backlash. Lying injured on the ground, she questioned in disbelief. What is this? I went all out and didn't even singe its fur. The monstrous tiger emerged from the smoke, roaring defiantly as she despaired, damn monster. All that effort was for naught. Bloodied and defeated, she lamented, so, it's fire resistant. Seriously, I've got the worst luck. I thought I might finally escape this cursed gate. Am I really going to die like this? So pathetically, is there really no way to defeat that thing? A close-up captured the resolute, though blood-streaked, determination in Yuna's eye. She observes with a dawning realization that the mutant tiger's mouth is bleeding. The enormous beast then stumbles, its head crashing into the earth with significant impact. Subsequently, it collapses heavily, its immense form creating tremors across the rocky ground. Lying injured, Yuna extends a hand, touching the snout of the now fallen monster. Blood trickles from the corner of her mouth as a faint, knowing smirk plays on her lips. The tiger's baleful red eye glares as a disembodied voice inquires, "Are you enjoying your meal?" Her hand ignites with fiery energy as the voice advises, "Eat as much as you can while you still can." The ominous voice adds, "You won't be eating again anytime soon," while Yuna, still bearing her wounds, begins to count 1. Her eye gleams with an intense, fiery resolve as she continues her count 2. Finally, she unleashes a devastating torrent of flames, declaring 3. As the mutant tiger is completely enveloped in a raging inferno. Her eye, reflecting the inferno, showed an unyielding will as blood traced a path down her cheek. A cataclysmic burst of flame consumed the area, signifying her ultimate attack. Amidst the smoldering remnants, she stood wounded but victorious, gazing at the carnage. She slumped amidst the fiery ruin, surrounded by the grotesque evidence of her battle. Clutching an injured arm, the colossal, charred body of the mutant tiger slammed into the earth with finality. With a weary look, blood marking her face, she whispered that the long ordeal was finally concluded. System messages then flashed, announcing the defeat of the first-named monster and an impending update. Lying exhausted, she panted, questioning if this victory meant the gate's exit had at last materialized. Her trembling hand reached out as she thought of her fallen comrades' keepsakes. Her awareness beginning to dim. Spread out on the desolate ground, she reflected on her countless battles, hoping her efforts were sufficient and that she could finally find peace. As her consciousness waned, a vision of her mother appeared, prompting a faint whisper, "Mom." Her eyes snapped open with a jolt, a sudden surge of energy or realization coursing through her. Wounded and reaching forward, she let out a silent gasp, her gaze fixed on the bracelet adorning her wrist. A memory surfaced of younger hands proudly presenting a striped bracelet, exclaiming, "Mom, look at this." In the flashback, a small Yuna beamed as she showed the handmade bracelet to her mother, who asked if her little girl had crafted it herself. The child explained it was a wish bracelet from class meant for her mother, who then asked what she would wish for. Her mother's gentle smile filled the memory as she began to reveal Mommy's wishes. Returning to the grim present, Yuna, gasping for breath, questioned if her efforts were sufficient, only for a fierce inner voice to retort, "Don't give me that weak crap." She buried her bloodied face in her hands, overwhelmed by a torrent of emotion and pain. The faces of her fallen squad mates, including Aijin, flashed before her, fueling her resolve with the thought of the grudge of my comrades who died trapped in the gate. Her thoughts turned to Aijin, who had tried to sacrifice himself, and her mother's unfulfilled wish, fueling her will to live as she panted heavily. A close-up revealed her eyes, now burning with an unshakable determination. She internally declared she still had things to accomplish, that after experiencing this, she couldn't give up, and that she would not perish like this as fiery energy surged around her. An anguished cry escaped her lips amidst the swirling, intense power. Clutching her wounded arm, she gasped for breath, reaffirming her resolve that she still had tasks to complete and would survive, no matter the cost. System notifications suddenly appeared, indicating a loading process followed by the completion of an update. With a renewed surge of dark energy, she vowed internally, "I will definitely survive." Further system messages flashed, announcing that rewards had been granted, offering congratulations, and specifying she had acquired the elegant parasol of the Black Flame Princess. Lying injured, she weakly questioned what this strange new development could be. Beside her outstretched, bloodied hand, an ornate, dark parasol with a purple ribbon materialized, radiating a mystical purple energy. His eyes remained closed, lost in a somber thought indicated by an ellipsis. Then his eyes slowly opened as a soft escaped him, his name Aijin, echoing in his mind. Suddenly his mother was shaking him, calling out Ijun. As he jolted awake with a startled expression, she informed him, "Let's go now. It's almost time to board," to which he distractedly replied, "Yes, mother," in the airport waiting lounge. An airport announcement declared that Korean Air Flight 784 to San Francisco would be departing shortly, urging passengers to proceed to their gate. Aijin's mind drifted. San Francisco. That's where Yunho was supposed to attend university. While his mother fretted, "Oh dear, my mind is a mess." As his mother wondered aloud about their boarding gate, a sudden, intense realization struck Aijin. She then recalled, "Right, gate 21. Luckily, it's just ahead." But turned to see Aijin panting heavily, asking, "Hujun?" Overcome, Aijin sank to his knees, hiccuping and gasping for air as his mother questioned his distress, while his thoughts repeated, I left her behind." He finally cried out in anguish, "I left her behind and came back alone." As his mother tried to soothe him, Hey Aijin, it's okay, calm down, okay?" Tears welled in Aijin's eye as he hesitantly uttered, "I'm overcome with emotion." A uniformed soldier reached out with concern, inquiring, "Are you all right?" As Aijin appeared deeply troubled, Aijin let out a piercing scream, "Aaggghh," while his mother explained to the soldier that her son gets anxious seeing military personnel, prompting an apology from the soldier. His mother reassured him, "Jun, it's not your fault. It was an unavoidable accident, okay?" But Aijin lamented, But I was the only one." She pleaded with him to pause his hunter activities and focus on himself, suggesting that the hunter system in America is safer and his father's impending promotion would ease things. With the plane's landing gear visible, she mentioned that after sufficient rest, he could join the guild his father intended to establish. The aircraft descended into the rain-filled sky, leaving the ground behind. Seated by the airplane window, Aijin's somber reflection stared back at him as he silently thought of Yuna. The focus returned to Cha Yuna, lying injured and still on the desolate ground within the gate, her parasol nearby. Within the gate's oppressive darkness, a pair of luminous yellow eyes emerged, followed by the silhouette of a large, feline entity enveloped in a purple, flame-like aura, its eyes also glowing intensely. A system notification appears, stating Divine Beast Wandering Cat of Darkness is observing you. As Yuna lies injured, a soft sound escaping her. A brilliant golden light erupts around Yuna, engulfing her prone form with a powerful surge. Another system message declares, Divine Beast Wandering Cat of Darkness is healing your wounds. Amidst the golden glow, Yuna's eye blanks open, a question mark appearing as she regains some awareness. The blood on her face still visible. She wonders if she's still inside the gate, feeling a chill and making a soft sound of discomfort. Suddenly, she realizes she needs to get ready before the gate resets. Attempting to rise with a grunt of pain despite her injuries, she then remembers losing her right arm, but notes her condition isn't as bad as it could be considering the bleeding she experienced. Sitting up, she notices her ornate parasol lying beside her, prompting a questioning HM. She recalls seeing a message about a reward before passing out, and wonders if the intricately designed parasol is that reward. Yuna reaches for the parasol, her gaze fixed on its detailed pattern as she takes hold of it. Her expression is pensive, marked by an ellipsis as she gazes upwards. Still bearing the marks of her ordeal, she comically questions the parasol's utility, wondering if it's merely for shade, but resolves to keep it as a reward for her victory, despite its apparent uselessness. Standing before a looming, shadowy beast, she deduces that since the exit remains sealed even after defeating a named monster, more formidable foes must still be present. Clutching the parasol, she considers this a sign of actual progress compared to the ceaseless, frustrating resets she has endured. A system window suddenly materializes, announcing a connection to a new channel, sparking a flicker of hope that this could be her escape. With the parasol in hand, she looks bewildered as a golden light emanates from below, prompting a confused An unusual, bright yellow message window pops up with a cheerful, cat-themed greeting. "Hello, meow. I'm the cutest cat in the universe. I like you, honey. Want to make a contract with me?" Skeptically observing the unfamiliar message format, she internally questions if this is some new type of deception. The playful message window then seems to bonk her on the head, followed by an indignant, flashing yellow alert exclaiming, "Watch your mouth. I am a divine beast, a divine beast." Rubbing her head with an annoyed expression, she processes the outburst, questioning with surprise. "What? Hold on, a divine beast?" Yuna remembers Aijin once talking about the 12 divine beasts, her expression thoughtful despite her injuries. A depiction of various animals illustrates the 12 sacred creatures that protect the East, explaining that forming a contract with one grants access to its unique skills and attributes. It further details that the one chosen as the avatar of the divine beast will be able to take on its form through incarnation, showing a powerful bull and a smug rat. A cosmic scene of a planet and a bright star signifies that one can obtain abilities beyond imagination or be granted the authority that it possesses. She muses that if she can really form a contract with one, fighting would become so much easier. Though a peculiar cat-faced emoticon appears on the yellow message window, followed by her hesitant but Addressing the entity, Yuna states, "Hey, self-proclaimed divine beast, I have a question." She then queries, "As far as I know, there's no cat among the 12 divine beasts." As the message window displays a startled emoticon, the yellow message window seems to sweat nervously while Yuna maintains a skeptical, unimpressed expression. An indignant message flashes, "WHWH, what are you talking about, Nya? Cats are the ultimate divine beast. Don't doubt me. I'm the one who stopped your arm from bleeding. Remember that." As Yuna looks at her miraculously healed arm stump with wide, surprised eyes, Yuna skeptically asks, "You really stopped the bleeding?" While the message window, now looking smug with a cat-like grin, retorts, "That's right, Nya, do you believe in my power now?" Nya. The yellow message window suggests her belief depends on her next actions. Just as a ferocious growl startles Yuna, who looks up in alarm, a system notification declares, 5530 red-eyed black tiger has spotted you. As the snarling beast, wreathed in red energy, fixes its gaze on her, Yuna recognizes the creature, thinking, "That guy, the one that ran away last time." As it stands menacingly before her, multiple system alerts flash, stating the 5530 red-eyed black tiger is furious. Its attack power has greatly increased, and it is now using a skill, Final Retaliation. The enraged tiger launches itself forward in a blur of motion, intent on attacking. Its powerful paw smashes into the ground where Yuna just stood, sending debris flying as she narrowly evades. Knocked off balance, Yuna coughs, thinking that in her normal condition she would have finished it easily. While the beast lets out another growl, she internally acknowledges her depleted mana and the loss of her right arm. As the tiger's glowing red eyes glare down at her, the creature leaps high into the air, poised to descend upon her, while she internally emits, "There's nitrogen monoxide guarantee I can win." The yellow message window pops up again, urgently offering, "It's an emergency. How about borrowing my authority for a while?" To which Yuna scoffs, "What? I just met you. How can I trust you?" That's a classic scammer move. The yellow message window challenges her, asking if she'd rather perish. As the tiger snarls and a bloodied Yuna yells that if she's being scammed, she'll haunt the entity whether she lives or dies. With a desperate, upward gaze, Yuna screams for the cat to lend her its power. Purple energy starting to swirl around her. System notifications flash, indicating the loading process for granting the divine beast authority and identifying Chai Yuna as the entity. While the tiger attacks, another system message announces the restoration of damaged body parts. A bright blue energy focusing on Yuna's right side. The creature's fierce eyes visible as golden power erupts around Yuna. System alerts confirming her body restoration is complete and her attack and agility have increased. Enveloped in a radiant golden aura, her hair whipping around, Yuna extends her newly formed right hand. A system message stating the wandering cat of darkness has granted its authority. She stands within the brilliant golden light, parasol in her left hand, gazing in awe at her restored right arm. A close view highlights her glowing right hand as she utters in astonishment, "My right arm." Her eyes are wide with disbelief, flexing her regenerated, radiant hand, exclaiming its return. While the yellow message window cheekily inquires if she now believes it's genuine, Yuna, looking from her restored limb to the hovering message interface, acknowledges, "Fine. So you're not a scammer. Either way, thanks. You saved me." The yellow message window cheekily asks if that wasn't a little overkill, to which Yuna admits she couldn't control her strength. It then explains this is an unknown gate where simply killing monsters won't lead to escape, confusing Yuna, who thought it was a regular C-rank gate. Yuna internally reflects that she's never heard of an unknown gate, realizing this place is entirely different if the cat is truthful. She then directly asks the cat how she can escape if normal means won't work. The message window brightly informs her she needs to collect 5 key items representing the dungeon, noting she already has the elegant parasol, leaving for more. Yuna looks at her parasol, realizing it wasn't useless after all, and considers that she has 4 more items to find. She wonders if she can really pull this off. As the yellow message window displays a slightly encouraging emoticon, her thoughts drift to how defeating just one elite monster was already too much, acknowledging that while the cat saved her this time, there's no guarantee she'll keep winning. The cat's emoticon remains on the screen as she contemplates her difficult situation. A sudden, bright yellow light emanates from the message window, catching Yuna's attention as she looks up with a questioning. The yellow message window brightly reminded her, "Did you forget my earlier offer? If you form a contract with me, you'll gain much stronger power." Yuna regarded the hovering interface with its cat-like emoticon, questioning, "A contract?" The message confirmed, "That's right, a contract. But there's a condition if you want to receive my power," prompting Yuna to muse that such power wouldn't be free and ask about the terms. Its first condition appeared, "First, Never speak of my existence as the 13th divine beast, accompanied by an image of a black cat with a purple aura, before adding, second. The entity then demanded, give me your name, leaving Yuna visibly shocked as she uttered, what? She questioned the meaning of giving her name, and the cat emoticon window clarified that her name would belong to it, and she could no longer use it. Her dog tag necklace was visible as she silently considered this peculiar and significant request. Standing alone in a stark white space, clutching her parasol, Yuna couldn't shake the feeling that it's suspicious. Against a dark, abstract backdrop featuring her silhouette within a birdcage, she pondered her lack of understanding about the contract's terms, and why this divine beast would choose her. Feeling like nothing more than a rat trapped inside a gate, the text declared above her somber profile. As a sliver of hope entered her thoughts, but if by any chance, she considered that if she could get revenge on those who stole her future, family, and comrades, and bring peace to those who hoped in her, then she would give more than just her name. As a faded image of her and Ijin back-to-back appeared, her hand tightened around her dog tag necklace, a determined glint in her eye. With fierce resolve, she declared she'd even sell her soul, shouting, all right, cat, I'll make a contract with you. A brilliant bolt of golden lightning struck down, signifying the pact being forged. System messages flashed, confirming the contract's success. Her bond to the divine beast wandering cat of darkness greatly increased agility, and the activation of a passive skill enhancing her night vision and dark combat accuracy. Her dog tags glowed intensely as another notification confirmed she gained the authority. Cat's claw from the divine beast. In a wash of golden light, the silhouette of a cat's ears and then a paw materialized. A luminous golden cat fully appeared, cheerfully exclaiming, finally, I get to greet you properly. Yeah. Looking forward to working with you, honey. Yuna looked utterly bewildered as the golden cat playfully pranced around her, prompting her to ask, You have a physical form now. While the cat seemed super excited, the golden cat, lounging with a tiny drink, explains that only Yuna can see its current form and encourages her to use its full power. As the cat floats beside her, Yuna, holding her parasol, questions if it shouldn't first explain what its power actually entails. Suddenly, a tremendous impact shakes the ground, indicated by large purple sound effect characters. A system notification announces 78 mutant red-eyed black tiger has spotted you. As the monstrous beast face, with multiple glowing red eyes and bared fangs, looms menacingly close to Yuna, Yuna reacts with wide-eyed shock, exclaiming internally, this thing, another mutant. The golden cat, now in a fighting stance, cheerfully encourages her. You got this, go get him. Yuna's profile shows her continued disbelief and fear as she processes the appearance of a second mutant. The colossal Lv.78 mutant red-eyed black tiger, with its numerous glowing eyes, towers over a small, determined Yuna. Yuna expresses her alarm, shouting that level 78 is even higher than the last one and questioning how she's supposed to defeat it. The golden cat reassures her, stating this is the perfect time to test her abilities and that she's now much stronger than the creature. While purple energy begins to swirl around Yuna, the mutant tiger's massive paw crashed down, splintering the earth with incredible force. Amidst the fractured ground, a smaller, dark feline creature recoiled with a startled cry as the impact resonated. The smaller beast let out another yelp of surprise, its fang maw wide open. Yuna, inverted in the air, registered the incredible swiftness of the unfolding events. She realized with astonishment that her own speed had dramatically increased. A blue aura flaring around her. System messages declare the Lv.78 red-eyed black tiger was now furious. Its attack power significantly boosted, as Yuna found herself perilously close to its gaping jaws. Recognizing her vulnerability suspended in the air, she knew she had to react decisively to counter the threat. Her parasol ignited with brilliant, fiery energy as she prepared to strike. She unleashed a powerful, flaming blow from her parasol, connecting squarely with the colossal tiger's head, landing solidly on her feet. A question echoed in her mind about the nature of the attack she had just witnessed or performed. Yuna stared in shock, realizing her parasol, now crackling with purple energy, was far from an ordinary item. The golden cat complimented her apparent mastery, but Yuna, kneeling, clarified that the parasol seemed to move entirely on its own. Observing the bloodied yet defiant mutant tiger, she acknowledged that a single strike wouldn't suffice against such a formidable opponent. When the cat questioned her lack of other attack skills, Yuna explained her flames were ineffective against the beast fur, prompting the cat to cheekily ask if she hadn't acquired something new. The divine feline then reminded her of the power gained from their contract, a system window appearing to ask if she wished to activate the divine cat's claw. A flicker of recollection crossed Yuna's face as she remembered receiving a divine power. When they forged their pact, determined, she decided to unleash every ability at her disposal. Despite never having used a divine beast skill before, her finger poised over a radiant interface. Golden light enveloped her as system messages confirmed the divine cat's claw and divine power were now active, the former set to remain engaged. The cat inquired if she felt anything, but Yuna, looking perplexed, wondered aloud if this was the extent of it, and humorously asked if there was an instruction manual, reassuring her that it was normal not to sense an immediate change. The cat suggested she test the new power in actual combat as a luminous feline energy began to manifest. The golden cat urgently warned, "Honey, watch out ahead." As the massive mutant tiger lunged forward with incredible speed, Yuna grunted from the force, realizing she'd be helpless if this continued and thought she needed to divert its attention first. Her hand ignited with a brilliant orange glow as a system message announced the passive skill. Cat's CLAW had activated. A sudden burst of fiery energy erupted around her, taking on distinct shapes. Yuna looked on with a puzzled expression, wondering aloud, "What is that?" As fiery, mouse-like figures appeared. She questioned if it was her flame, a clone, but then noted its mouse-like movement, wondering about its form. Her fist clenched as several small, fiery mouse-shaped constructs darted across the ground. The golden cat explained, "That's right. Cat's Claw is a passive skill that creates afterimages of my techniques." As the tiger looked up, distracted by the fiery mice, the colossal tiger swiped to the air, clearly confused by the darting fiery afterimages. Yuna, a fiery aura around her hand, declared with determination, "Perfect. Time to play with the cat." Yuna, airborne, slams her parasol down onto the roaring mutant tiger's head with fiery force. Her expression is fiercely determined as she swings her glowing parasol in a wide, powerful arc. The colossal tiger roars, momentarily distracted by the fiery mice, as Yuna taunts, "Yeah, keep staring at that." She internally acknowledges the grave danger, thinking, "This is a high-level opponent." Her parasol connects with the resounding impact, and she knows, "I only have one chance." Suspended high above the beast, she prepares for a decisive downward strike. Her thought focused, right now. With intense concentration, she aims her glowing parasol, intending one hit to finish it. The tip of her parasol, blazing with energy, strikes the mutant tiger's head with a brilliant flash. A blinding explosion of golden light erupts from the point of impact, engulfing the tiger's head. Thrown back by the sheer force of the blast, Yuna cries out, "Arc!" As the tiger lets out an agonized roar, a brilliant beam of golden energy lanced downwards with immense power. The mutant tiger reeled back, its head exploding in a fiery burst from the devastating impact. Her parasol, now inert, fell through the air before she caught its handle firmly. The colossal beast crashed to the ground, defeated, as a system notification declared, "You have defeated the second-named monster." Yuna, kneeling but victorious, exclaimed with wide eyes, "I did it," her hair flowing wildly. She then turned her attention to the golden feline, saying, "Kitty," and then, with a slight smile, added, "Right? You're also a cat, huh?" As the divine beast preened, walking past the fallen monster, she mused that just a short while ago, these were enemies she struggled so hard against, concluding that the divine powers of the beast are truly incredible. A sudden look of confusion crossed her face as she uttered a questioning, "Huh?" Her eyes widened in shock, a bead of sweat forming as she realized something was amiss. Letting out a startled "Ah." The camera focused on her parasol, now lying on the ground. As a distinct cracking sound was heard and a fissure appeared on its surface, the golden cat asks, "Hey, what's wrong with this thing?" While Yuna, looking downcast, wonders when her parasol broke and why she appears so upset. She panics internally, questioning, "What do I do? What should I do?" Letting out a distressed huff, her hand flies to her wrist, revealing a snapped bracelet as she realizes, "This is the only memento I have left for Mom." The golden cat, noticing her distress, gently inquires, "What's wrong?" With a comforting expression, the feline reassures her, "It's okay, honey. Don't be sad." The cat then nuzzles against her arm, offering, "I'll fix it for you." A tear wells in Yuna's eye as she looks towards the divine beast, a glimmer of hope appearing. A system notification announces, using the divine beast wandering cat of darkness ability, "Your item has been repaired." As her wrist glows with golden light, Yuna gazes in astonishment at her now repaired bracelet, which radiates a warm, golden luminescence, exclaiming, "The bracelet." She turns to the preening golden cat, asking in disbelief, "You fixed it?" To which it confidently replies, "Of course, something like that is no big deal." Yuna gazes thoughtfully at her mended bracelet, a soft golden glow still lingering around her hands. She kneels, expressing her gratitude to the golden cat for its repeated assistance. While the feline admits it made an exception due to her sadness, Yuna confesses that the bracelet holds immense sentimental value, even more than her own arm, which seems to surprise the divine beast. The playful cat advises her to be more careful with such an important item, and Yuna, with a gentle smile, promises to do so. Turning towards the hovering cat, she suddenly recalls the need to check her reward for vanquishing the second mutant. A system notification then reveals she has obtained the pitch-black silk dress of the Princess of Black Flames, as an ornate, dark gown materializes before her. While the golden cat gushes over the dress's beauty, Yuna reacts with comical dismay, internally questioning the strange princess playset reward. The narrative then shifts to a panoramic view of a modern city skyline under a vibrant sunset. An aerial perspective shows a more industrial district, with text confirming the location as Seoul, South Korea, at 6:31 p.m. A distinguished man in a suit, identified as Hunter Association Team Leader Kim Kwang-hyen, warmly greets someone named Hunter Shin Si-woo, stating they've been awaited. Team Leader Kim Kwang-hyen informs Shin Si-woo that upon completing this B-rank gate tutorial, he'll be officially recognized as a hunter and can then proceed with his activities freely. Kwang-hyen extends an invitation for Si-woo to join their association if he ever considers it, while Si-woo, his face partially obscured by a mask and hood, inquires if finishing this task means an end to bothersome assignments. With his associates standing by, Kwang-hyen affirms Si-woo's query, to which the hooded figure simply responds, "Understood." Shin Si-woo turns towards a luminous, swirling green gate, announcing he will see them in an hour. A close-up reveals Hunter Shin Si-woo's intense gaze from beneath his hood, his lower face covered by a mask. An informational panel displays Shin Si-woo from the back, detailing his S-rank stamina, mana, and overall combat ability, identifying him as a promising awakened hunter affiliated with South Korea's prestigious Wolf Guild. Further information, accompanied by a close-up of Si-woo bathed in blue light, reveals that, though not widely known, he is also the incarnation of the dog, having formed a contract with the divine beast in that form. Team Leader Kim Kwang-hyen, seated and looking at a tablet, reflects that even without this tutorial, Si-woo's skills practically qualify him for an S-rank hunter license, deeming him a true heavyweight. A glint appears in Kwang-hyun's glasses, as he considers the prospect of observing Si-woo's performance and successfully recruiting him into the association. One of Kwang-hyun's men, wearing dark sunglasses, interrupts his thoughts, causing the team leader to startle comically and ask what the issue is. The subordinate wondered aloud if that young man, Shin Si-woo, was genuinely the guild leader's biological son, as they observed the glowing green gate. Within an icy expanse, text revealed that rumors suggested the son was supposedly too frail to even appear in public. Team leader Kim Kwang-hyen, looking at a tablet, commented that was what everyone assumed, and whether it was true or not. Inside the gate, Si-woo's hand extended amidst a crystalline, frozen landscape. They would discover the truth after the test, as he was suddenly surrounded by multiple insectoid monsters. One large, wasp-like creature faced him directly, while another lunged from below with sharp mandibles. The masked and hooded Si-woo unleashed a devastating energy attack, causing the monster before him to explode in a shower of green ichor. He stood amidst the dissipating energy, remarking that the air now smelled funky. System notifications then appeared, confirming he had defeated the boss, acquired the gate, and that the exit had been activated as his hand closed around a glowing purple core. Gazing at a massive, vanquished insectoid creature, Si-woo pondered if this was the final enemy. Thinking that taking the gate core would serve as proof he'd completed the tutorial, Si-woo checked his phone, noting it was 7 p.m. sharp, roughly 30 minutes after he'd entered, and he was eager to depart the malodorous location. His gaze lifted, a hesitant but forming in his thoughts as he considered the situation. Facing away, he questioned why the gate remained sealed when the exit should have been active. Recalling no further instructions from Mr. Kim Kwang-hyen, he let out a sigh, wondering if this could be a special dungeon featuring to bosses and whether he should simply wait for an attack, his eyes showing a flicker of resolve. His scarred fist clenched tightly as a painful memory surged, echoing his past defiance. "I don't want to, Father." The recollection continued, his younger self vehemently declaring, "I don't want to get hurt or feel pain," against a somber, rain-streaked window. In the flashback, a terrified young Si-woo screamed his refusal for such training and his disinterest in inheriting the Wolf Guild, while his imposing father silently labeled him a weakling. As another man tried to intervene, a close-up revealed his younger, tear-streaked face, a bandage on his cheek, clearly showing his profound distress. The imposing, shadowed figure of his father then questioned if, with such an attitude, he could possibly bear the responsibility of the wolf. Young Siwoo's eye, wide with unshed tears and terror, reflected his inner turmoil as a powerful emotional impact resonated. A close-up showed Siwoo's determined eyes above his mask, his blue hair visible under the hood. He decided that finishing early wouldn't hurt, planning to find the boss quickly, defeat it, and then head home. As he walked deeper into the icy cavern, the camera panned across the desolate, frozen rock face of the dungeon interior. Siwoo mused that this was his first venture into a dungeon outside of mock training. Noting the environment didn't seem vastly different from practice, he then recalled an instructor briefly mentioning something about unknown gates. During one of those training sessions, the instructor had explained that an unknown gate is unlike others, lacking consistent rules or patterns, with unpredictable difficulty levels and spawning zones, citing a recent major tragedy at the Pachin training facility caused by such a gate, and warning to be cautious if any strange phenomena were observed. This memory prompted Siwoo to wonder if this current location could be the unknown gate his instructor had described, the warning to be extremely cautious echoing in his mind. However, he quickly dismissed the idea, remembering that gates are identifiable by the color of their rift, and the briefing materials had clearly indicated this was a B-rank gate. Confirming he saw a green rift upon entry, holding the glowing purple gate core, a disembodied voice inquired if something was troubling him as he stood before a shimmering blue portal. A close-up revealed Siwoo's face, his expression thoughtful as he looked slightly upwards. The spectral form of the divine beast, guardian of the deep night, a wolf, materialized. Noting Siwoo wore the same expression as when thinking of that person, but Siwoo dismissed it as a memory from training. More importantly, he mused, it was strange that after defeating the boss, the dungeon felt unusually calm, prompting him to wonder if there could be the boss monsters. In any case, he decided he couldn't just wait in this disgusting place, his eye catching a sudden, intense purple flash from the gate core he held. He reacted with a startled, as the purple gate core in his hand began to crackle and glow with immense, unstable energy. Questioning what was happening with this unprecedented rift activity, Siwoo braced himself as the purple light intensified, pulling him forward. The core erupted in a blinding flash of purple energy, causing him to grunt from the sudden surge. With a curse, he realized he was being sucked into the violently reacting core, his body pulled by an irresistible force. Suddenly, he was violently expelled into a different, rocky canyon under a bright, clear sky. A powerful, fiery explosion then erupted nearby, sending debris flying. From the dust and smoke of the blast, a large, dark, tiger-like creature with glowing red eyes emerged, letting out a low growl as it landed. Yuna, clad in her dark dress and heeled shoes adorned with purple roses, took a deliberate step forward on the rocky terrain. The large, shadowy beast that had emerged from the explosion cowered behind a rock, letting out whimpers. With a confident air, she questioned the creature. "Where do you think you're running off to?" Suddenly, the tiger, now enveloped in intense flames, let out a furious roar. A colossal, fiery detonation then rocked the area with immense power. Following the blast, the bloody tiger lay defeated on the scorched ground, a soft sound escaping it. She advanced once more, her elegant shoes stepping onto the fiery earth as she mused, as expected. Standing amidst the smoldering embers, her dark hair billowing, Yuna wondered aloud, "Is it another wild goose chase?" The golden divine cat then materialized, panting dramatically and exclaiming, "Kyaakk-EUNHA. I'm breathless." Spinning with delight and surrounded by floating hearts, the cat gushed, "It's so amazing. Truly wonderful," as Yuna observed with a stoic expression. The golden cat excitedly declares its intention to take pictures of Yuna daily for its photo album, also admiring her dress, shoes, and brooch. Close-ups highlight the sparkling purple rose detail on her dress and its ruffled fabric. Yuna, flustered, mutters, "Ugh. I'd almost forgotten about this embarrassment. And now you've made me remember it again." The golden cat, reclining blissfully, exclaims, "Oh, finally, my dream has come true." Yuna asks, "Does it suit me?" While internally noting the dress, though cumbersome looking, was surprisingly lightweight and offered excellent defense in combat. She explains that thanks to the dress and umbrella, she also obtained the black shoes of the Black Flame Princess and the black rose brooch of the Black Flame Princess as system messages confirm. Yuna states that now, having gathered 4 items, she just needs to defeat the final named monster to get all clues for escaping the gate. With the cat affirming, right? While she notes the notorious named monster hasn't appeared in weeks, she adds that the tigers which used to attack her now scatter the moment they see her. As the scene shows the desolate, rocky canyon, the cat wonders if the creatures got beaten so badly they learned something, but Yuna thinks, "There's no way. Well, the ones I've faced so far didn't seem that smart." Yuna muses, I don't think there's anything more to find here for today. So maybe I should head back to my hideout. As she and the cat look out over the landscape. Under a moonlit sky, a campfire crackled merrily, casting a warm glow on the surrounding area. System notifications popped up, congratulating her on obtaining finely ground Himalayan salt, fragrant black pepper, flavorful mustard, and tomato ketchup sauce. As Yuna held the salt shaker over a roasting piece of meat, the golden cat, dressed as a chef, offered more condiments, while she mused about the unexpected utility of divine beast and asked for spicy green chili. Peppers for the greasy monster meat. She reflected on never imagining monster meat would be her main food source, realizing it meant she was adapting to survival. As the cat cheerfully declared itself the monster meat chef for the day, the golden cat, now wearing sunglasses, then stated there was something it was curious about. Its expression inquisitive. Yuna, looking downcast by the fire, voiced her deep-seated question, "Can I ever get out of here?" The golden cat's eyes glinted with a knowing look in a close-up. Floating beside her, the cat asked, "You want to leave?" To which Yuna affirmed, "Of course." "Did you forget why I'm fighting monsters dressed like this?" The cat reminded her. "But staying here was your choice, wasn't it?" As a flashback showed her pushing Aijin through the gate, and Yuna conceded, "That's not entirely wrong." But, with a cheerful announcement, the golden cat declared, "By the way, today marks exactly 1 year since we met," nuzzling affectionately against Yuna's cheek. Yuna thinks about the families of her fallen comrades desperately searching for their loved ones. Realizing she needs to return their dog tags, she then wonders if her mom's death anniversary is past and if her grave is being well maintained. Her thoughts turn to Aijin, a memory of his smiling face appearing. She questions if he is doing okay, or if he's still haunted by the past. A flashback showing his terrified expression. A close-up shows her clenching her fist with determination. The memory of Aijin's tear-streaked face vivid. The divine beast, the wandering cat of darkness, is startled by her sudden intensity, as indicated by a system message and a sound effect. The golden cat then asks, "What's wrong, Yuna? Is the sauce bad? Should I get something else?" Standing by the campfire, Yuna replies, "It's not that. Thanks to you, I ate plenty." She elaborates, "It's just, right now, all I can think about is getting out of here. I can't think of anything other than, I have to get out." Her hand clenches near the rose brooch on her dress as she voices her resolve. "If I can't obtain the final black flame item," she declares, "I'll risk my life to open the gate's exit, no matter what." As the golden cat looks on with a sudden, intense expression, the cat then urgently exclaims, "Oh no, Yuna, you've already fought so many battles. You need to rest today," while Yuna, with a slight frown, replies, "I appreciate your concern, but I'm not that tired." Leaping protectively, the golden cat warns, "It's dangerous out there." The divine beast continues, "You'd be so much happier living here, just the two of us." But Yuna, with a skeptical look, questions, "Dangerous, you say?" Her query, "What exactly does it mean?" is followed by a view of a violently unstable, crackling purple energy field within the gate. A red system warning flashes, warning system damage has been detected, causing Yuna to react with a startled. Further red alerts appear, stating external interference is suspected, and the gate is being forcibly reset. As Yuna is caught in a maelstrom of purple energy, wondering, what is this all of a sudden? Multiple glitched red system error messages fill the screen with garbled text. The golden cat, looking fierce and alarmed, stands before Yuna as she observes the inner wall of the gate. "It's falling apart, isn't it?" Yuna, looking distressed, then demands of the agitated cat, "What's going on? Why are you acting like that too?" The golden cat, startled, asks if something is wrong, wondering if the last mutant monster is finally appearing. Yuna, her long dark hair flowing, spots a distant, silhouetted male figure standing amidst the chaotic energy. The figure, revealed to be Shin Si-woo, bathed in a blue light, confidently states, "Yes, you're the real boss." A close-up of Yuna's eyes shows her utter shock and disbelief at his declaration. Si-woo's hand, glowing with blue energy, makes a subtle gesture, initiating an attack. Yuna is suddenly surrounded by a maelstrom of sharp, blue, crystalline projectiles, exclaiming, "This is..." Her parasol, with its purple ribbon, is struck by the icy shards, the impact resonating. She deflects the barrage of ice, her dark hair whipping around her as the attack intensifies. A close-up of Yuna's face reveals her confusion as she identifies the attack, questioning, "I see?" She wonders aloud if there were any ice-using monsters in this dungeon, then recalls something from moments before, as the golden cat yelps in surprise beside her. Si-woo's mind reeled with the thought, didn't it just talk? He then reasoned, if that's the case, then that's not a monster. As he advanced through the icy landscape, his eye widened in sudden realization, a thought bubble exclaiming, "What the, that's..." Amidst a swirl of blue energy, Yuna appeared, prompting his surprised query, "A woman?" As she deflected his icy shards. From behind her flowing dark hair, a speech bubble conveyed her question, "Are you human?" A close-up showed Yuna's face, her purple eyes fixed on him with a serious, appraising look. Siwoo's expression was one of utter shock, a speech bubble indicating his stunned silence. Yuna, turning slightly, confirmed, "You are a human," while he tried to interject, "Hey, wait, let's talk for a sec." He unleashed a powerful blast of blue energy, declaring, "There's nothing to discuss with the monster. This is a gate." The camera focused on Yuna's elegant shoes standing on the blood-splattered ground. As Siwoo's narration continued, no matter how fluently she speaks Korean, or how much she looks like a young woman, Siwoo's internal monologue began with the chilling realization that this place is not one where humans can survive. As he observed Yuna's unsettling presence, Yuna's expression hardened, a dangerous glint in her eyes amidst the chaotic energy. He resolved to leave immediately, finding the tangled emotions and the scent of blood utterly repulsive. Gathering his power, Siwoo prepared to unleash a decisive attack, intending to finish it in a single strike. A torrent of brilliant blue energy then surged forth from his outstretched hand. Unexpectedly, a powerful force sent him hurtling backward through the air. He crashed onto the icy ground with a grunt, sharp crystals jutting up around him. Looking up with a grimace, Siwoo uttered in disbelief, "This is." His gaze fell upon Yuna's parasol, its purple ribbon fluttering, having seemingly repelled his assault. Yuna, surrounded by jagged ice and blue energy, incredulously questions if this is supposed to be a brink gate. Siwoo, clenching his fist, fumes that not a single thing was assessed correctly and resolves that if that's how it is, he'll fight. He then unleashes a colossal blast of crackling blue energy directly at Yuna. A system window materializes, announcing authority. Dog's Fang activated as brilliant light shines, enveloped in an intense blue aura, with a spectral wolf's visage behind him. Siwoo declares with conviction, "I absolutely can't back down." Yuna, with a slight frown, directly asks him, "You're seriously trying to kill me?" She notes that she's only been dodging and figures she has no choice now, as a powerful force emanates from the ground. Siwoo looks up with a startled as Yuna, a dark silhouette against a starry sky, leaps high above his outstretched hand. Her hand ignites with fiery power as she posits, "You're an awakened too, aren't you?" Before concluding, "Then, as long as I don't kill you, it's fine." A massive, fiery explosion erupts, followed by the sound of fabric tearing sharply. Yuna, wreathed in an inferno, descended with a powerful, fiery kick aimed downwards. She landed gracefully, parasol in hand, believing he wouldn't easily withstand such intense firepower. Siwoo, partially shielded by a large ice formation, observed her thoughtfully, murmuring a contemplative HMM. His hair flared with blue energy as he acknowledged internally that she was not an opponent to be underestimated, his fingers poised. Yuna expertly weaved through a hail of icy shards, batting them away with her parasol. As Siwoo's voice declared that merely defending wouldn't secure her victory, he stood resolute amidst his crystalline defenses, his posture indicating readiness. A close view of Siwoo's face showed his unwavering focus as he prepared to escalate his offensive. From his outstretched hand, a concentrated beam of brilliant blue energy shot forth with a sharp sound. The azure energy blast surged towards Yuna, who prepared to meet it. While Siwoo's determined, I watched its trajectory. A spectral wolf formed of blue energy began to materialize, prompting Siwoo to realize this attack felt entirely different, questioning if it was his divine beast influence. Yuna recoils, exclaiming in surprise as a watery blast erupts water. A colossal vortex of blue water energy surges with immense force. Siwoo, caught within the swirling torrent, internally curses, "Damn it, I let my guard down." Observing him, Yuna wonders if he can also manipulate water, a possibility she hadn't considered since she'd only faced beast-type monsters. Submerged and struggling, Siwoo laments, "I could have won. I can't breathe. Am I really going to die like this?" He questions his potential demise at human hands, then defiantly thinks, "No." As Yuna's gloved hand, adorned with a purple rose, is visible nearby. As Yuna appears to be sinking, repeated thoughts of MOM fill her mind, along with a faint memory of her mother's voice saying, "Eunha, time for school. Wake up now." A somber image of her mother's funeral portrait with burning incense flashes in her memory. The golden divine cat materializes amidst a radiant glow, accompanied by a soft utterance. Yuna, seemingly dazed and possibly underwater, slightly opens her eyes, questioning, "A cat?" The golden divine cat's luminous silhouette appeared, its voice asking, "What? I can't hear it." As Yuna drifted downwards, the cat implored, "Don't die." She struggled, thinking, "I can't breathe," as bubbles escaped her. The golden cat, now fully visible and radiating light, declared, "Not anymore." With an urgent cry of "Don't die, sis," a brilliant golden light enveloped Yuna. She ascended within the radiant golden energy, her dark hair flowing. Her eye, reflecting a golden ring, snapped open as the divine cat asked, "You're awake?" Yuna, now conscious, questioned the golden cat, "Kitty, did you save me? What about that guy from before?" System messages then flashed, congratulating her on acquiring the tiara of black flame and announcing an achievement reward for wearing all 5 treasures tainted in black, signifying the 5th item. Yuna, looking comically annoyed in a chibi form, touched the newly acquired tiara, asking the equally chibi cat, "You've been holding onto this all along?" A system notification declared she had obtained the title Princess of Black Flame, prompting Yuna to wonder if this was some kind of fairy tale reference. When asked if she wanted to use the title immediately, the golden cat enthusiastically urged her on, and Yuna, despite not knowing its effects, decided to activate it to avoid dying. A brilliant golden light erupted around Yuna as she chose to use the new title. Determined to survive, system messages confirmed the title Princess of Black Flame is now in USE, and announced that her innate ability, Flame, was evolving. Meanwhile, Siwoo stood amidst a torrent of blue energy, the watery environment around him still turbulent. He looked up, his expression surprised, as he thought to himself that she seemed to vanish for a moment. Yuna, now wreathed in intense purple energy, elegantly held her parasol, her form radiating power under a dark, moonlit sky. A congratulatory message flashed, confirming title Princess of Black Flame has been successfully activated, as Yuna, with a confident smirk and glowing eyes, was surrounded by her enhanced aura.